we can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States. He will be going back to the White House.
I will fight for you, for your family, and your future with every breath in my body.
We're never going to stop fighting for you, for your dreams, for the future of your children. We're going to lead the greatest comeback in American history under Donald Trump's leadership.
God spared my life for a reason, to restore America to greatness. Together we can truly make America great again.
Donald Trump has made a surprise appearance at the UFC, and, well, he was received like a king.
I wish the people at home could hear the sound in this room.
It's so loud in here.
It is so loud. It's always loud when he comes in, but now that he's won, now that he's the president again, oh my God.
That is quite a reception.
Amazing.
And it wasn't just the crowd. Even UFC fighter John Jones honoured the president-elect by doing a YMCA dance.
He did the Trump dance. He did the Trump dance.
I don't think I've ever seen a UFC fighter
Do a dance.
do moves like that.
No.
Joining us now is our man in the US, journalist and commentator Brad Palumbo. Brad, watching those images, I mean, Trump was treated like an actual rock star. Help us here in Australia to understand a UFC crowd and why Trump was greeted that way.
Yeah, these are his people. These are the people who love him, right? This is working class Americans, their form of entertainment. You won't catch many PhDs in the audience or coastal elites. So this is the exact kind of atmosphere and audience of people that got President Trump reelected. And he's clearly thriving and enjoying all the fans and all the love. But I will just say it's great to see him having a good time. He's got about a month of this victory tour before the work kicks in, and he's going to have quite the job on his hands. So enjoy it while it lasts, because after January 20th, I don't know if he'll have time for too many UFC appearances.
Well, speaking of getting down to work, Brad, the new border czar, Tom Homan, means business. He seems to be a real sharpshooter, likes to get straight into work, unlike his predecessor. Have a look.
Up with education, down with deportation. Up with education, down with deportation.
I got a message to the millions of illegal aliens that Joe Biden's releasing our country in violation of federal law. You better start packing now.
Oh, I love that. I love it. I think that's so good. Yeah. And Brad, you know, unlike Kamala, this guy is not at a dance party with Beyonce. How much confidence is there that he will actually get this done and turf out those illegals?
I think he'll do whatever he can to enact President Trump's promises of widespread deportation efforts, because I think what we're going to see is a pendulum swing. The Biden administration took immigration so far out of control. So just let the border become an absolute mess under, yes, border czar Kamala Harris. Then they tried to gaslight us and say she was never a border czar, but she very much was, and it was very publicly reported and widespread at the time. I think Trump's going to crack down, and his new appointee really does seem to have that same agenda in mind. One thing that happened a lot during the first Trump presidency was he would have appointees or staff who would not actually see eye to eye with him and would just kind of play along and say they were on his side, but then actually try to enact a different agenda behind the scenes or thwart him. I think this time is going to be different, for better or worse, depending on your perspective. He's going to staff his administration with true believers, and if anything, immigration is going to be the prime example of that, where his policies are going to be implemented.
Yeah, it certainly seems Donald Trump is very aware he's got one term. He's going to give it everything he's got, and he's not going to be intimidated or concerned what other people think. The Bitter Banshees over at The View, Brad, I know it's one of your favourite TV shows, have had another shocking week. This time Whoopi Goldberg has been caught out after she claimed a Staten Island bakery refused to serve her because of her left-wing views. But in fact, it turns out they couldn't serve her or any other customer because their oven had broken down.
Rather than commit to something they couldn't guarantee, they said we can't do it. And the person who besmirched and defamed them took that as an insult to her. Well, get over it. This family will be here for, God willing, another 145 years.
Brad, do you really watch The View? And has Whoopi Goldberg completely lost it?
Well, I only watch it because fans of my podcast, Brad versus Everyone, love to hate watch it with me and see what woke victim nonsense they're up to. Like this time, Whoopi Goldberg basically made up a victim script for herself. Imagine some oppression, but I'm sorry, Whoopi, your victim card is being declined. It's like she thinks that, oh, well, I'm a celebrity and I'm really important, so they can't possibly have issues with their boiler at a dessert place. They must be discriminating against me. You're not actually that important outside of a very narrow slice of liberal elite society. But they've made victimhood a form of social currency in woke circles and in progressive media. So they're always falling all over each other to see how oppressed they can be and how, oh, woe is me. And if there's just that pesky little problem that it's not actually true, that doesn't really matter much. I mean, we've seen that over the years with mainstream media.
No, you're absolutely right. But God, they're just so bitter. You just look at them all and just go, goodness me, get back to actually telling stories and doing your job. Now, before we let you go, Brad, Disney is back to its woke ways. Here is the actress playing the new Snow White, giving us a rundown on the new film.
No longer 1937.
She's not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Weird.
Oh dear, Brad. Now love stories have fallen the way of woke. Now that's offensive.
Yeah, and she's the same lovely soul who just put out a message wishing Trump supporters that they never know peace. So we have an epidemic on our hands of out-of-touch actresses and celebrities. I mean, why accept a role if you clearly despise it of a beloved classic? Like, maybe don't take that role then. Or if you do decide to take that role, don't trash it and insult all the fans who are the only reason you have a career or you have this opportunity in the first place. The divide between America's elites and normal, sane people, it just seems to me is growing every single day. And people like this are just widening that divide every time they open their big mouths.
Yeah, that's very, very clear. Brad Palumbo, once again, thank you so much for helping us make sense of America.
Thanks, guys.